Do you ever notice something strange? Some people earn twice as much as they did 5 years ago, yet somehow they feel just as financially stressed as before. Their income has increased, their job title sounds more impressive, and from the outside, their life appears more successful. But when it comes to actual financial security, very little seems to have changed. In some cases, they're even worse off. At first, that doesn't make much sense. After all, earning more money should make life easier. More income should mean more freedom, less stress, and more opportunities. But for many people across the United States and Europe, the opposite happens. Let's imagine a fairly typical situation. A young professional named David starts his career earning $45,000 per year. After taxes and deductions, he takes home roughly $3,000 per month. His apartment is modest, he drives an older car, and he pays attention to where his money goes. A few years later, things improve. David receives promotions and changes jobs. His salary climbs to $75,000 per year. On paper, that's a major success. But something interesting happens. The small apartment no longer feels appropriate for his new income, so he upgrades to a nicer place. The older car suddenly feels outdated, so he signs a monthly car finance agreement. His phone gets upgraded. Vacations become more expensive. Dining out becomes more frequent. Subscription services quietly multiply. None of these decisions seem unreasonable by themselves. In fact, each one feels earned. The problem is that they don't happen individually. They happen together. Now let's look at the math. Suppose David's raise increases his monthly take-home pay by $1,500. At first, that sounds significant, but then rent increases by $500. The car payment adds another $450. Insurance rises by $100. Additional lifestyle spending adds another $300. A few subscription services and convenience purchases account for another $100. Suddenly, the entire raise has disappeared. His income is higher, but his financial position is almost unchanged. And because many of these new expenses are fixed monthly commitments, he has actually reduced his flexibility. This is one of the most common financial traps in modern society. People assume that financial success comes from increasing income, but in reality, wealth is often determined by the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The uncomfortable truth is that lifestyle expansion tends to happen automatically. Human beings adapt surprisingly quickly. What once felt luxurious soon feels normal. The nicer apartment becomes standard. The expensive car becomes expected. The upgraded lifestyle becomes the new baseline. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. The things that initially make us feel successful gradually lose their emotional impact. As a result, we begin searching for the next upgrade. Not because we're irrational, because we're human. Modern consumer culture quietly reinforces this process every day. Advertisements, social media, and even casual conversations constantly redefine what a normal lifestyle should look like. A car is no longer transportation, it's identity. A home is no longer shelter, it's status. Spending becomes less about utility and more about signaling progress. The danger is that status can be purchased immediately, while wealth takes time, and those two goals often compete with each other. Consider two people earning the exact same salary. One uses every raise to improve their visible lifestyle. The other allows some lifestyle improvement but directs a portion of every income increase towards savings, investments, or debt reduction. For the first person, higher income creates higher obligations. For the second person, higher income creates greater ownership. 10 years later, their financial lives may look completely different, despite earning similar amounts. This is why many financially intelligent people don't appear dramatically wealthier than everyone else. They understand something that often gets overlooked. Money isn't valuable because of what it buys today. Money is valuable because of the choices it creates tomorrow. Every dollar committed to a permanent expense reduces future flexibility. Every dollar retained creates options. The goal isn't to avoid enjoying life, nor is it to live in constant sacrifice. The real challenge is recognizing the difference between improving your life and simply increasing your costs. Because earning more money does not automatically create wealth. Sometimes it simply creates a more expensive version of the same financial situation. The people who build long-term financial security understand that income matters, but behavior matters more. They focus less on looking successful and more on becoming financially resilient. And while that approach may appear less impressive in the short term, it often produces far greater freedom over time. If you found this perspective useful, consider subscribing for more thoughtful discussions about money, wealth, and financial decision-making.